This is the Infinite Receiving Podcast, helping conscious leaders like you tap into a wealth of abundance across all areas of your life and business. My name is Susie Ashworth. I am a single mom of 3 and author of the Sunday Times best-selling book, Infinite Receiving: Crack the Code to Conscious Wealth Creation and Finally Manifest Your Dream Life. On this show, I'll be sharing with you how you can upgrade your identity and your reality to create the life that you have been dreaming of. Because you are ready to be an infinite receiver. Hello, you gorgeous human beings. It is Susie Ashworth here, and you are listening to the Infinite Receiving Podcast. I've got a really good one for you today. I am wanting to speak to you about how you can make decisions today that your future self is going to absolutely want to, I don't want to say something really rude, but love on you hard. Do you know what I mean? Like really, really love on you hard because you did things for them today that they are reaping the benefits of. And I know that this is not a new concept. Every single time we set ourselves a challenge or an intention, we're doing it because we want to create a better future for ourselves. And yet, why is it so damn tough for us to stick to the decision that we have made, to stick to the commitment that we have made and actually follow through? I don't know. Actually, that's a lie. Actually, that's a lie. I absolutely know why. And it is because status quo feels easier and the unknown feels scary. And we are programmed to want to stay safe. And when it comes to the unknown, that equals a lack of safety. A lack of certainty equals a lack of safety. And so even when our current and existing circumstances feel uncomfortable, feel painful, feel like, why on earth would I pick this? Our actions are always in alignment with the outcomes that we are receiving. And if we are consistently receiving an outcome that we do not want, it is because we are scared to change the way that we think, which will in turn change the way that we act. Look, this is not my fault. This is just the way that it is. And actually, the focus of our episode today isn't so much about the making the decision and sticking with it. It is about the process. Once we have decided that we're going to stick with it, what do we do then? And this is what this is about. And I'm really grateful that I was reminded that, oh God, and this is going to sound so basic, but I promise you, if you're finding yourself plateauing or going around in circles or procrastinating on the decision that you know that you need to make, it is because of this one simple thing that I'm about to share with you, which is, drum roll, you have to reconnect with the vision. You've got to reconnect with the vision that you are looking to create. And I don't mean in a, yay, I'm looking to create financial freedom, or yay, I know that one day I'm going to have the beach body that I've been dreaming of. I know that maybe you are tapping into that on a loose basis relatively frequently, but it's not meaningful. It doesn't mean anything. When I talk about reconnecting with the vision, I'm asking you to be very specific about what it is that you actually want and then putting it down on paper. And if you already have it down on paper, it is re-looking at that. And I have literally done this exercise this morning, and I have looked at the business that I am creating this year and where I want it to be in 3 years, 5 years' time. In fact, I've not really looked at it 3 years, 5 years' time. I've looked at it by the number of students. And I've got very practical about it. So, what that looks like for me is looking at my team. I shared something on LinkedIn. I know, shock horror, I am sharing consciously on LinkedIn. It was an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Actually, it was hearing that proverb quoted that really prompted me to do this exercise, which is something that I've not done for about 2 years, which is look at the structure of my team on paper. Team is something that I'm thinking about all of the time. It is probably something that you are thinking about if you are over six figures. And if you're under six figures, it's something that you should be thinking about, but are probably telling yourself over and over again that you don't have the money to invest in getting any support. Whilst I have heard incredible anomaly stories of people doing it all on their own for the first seven figures just to prove that they could and have wildly successful businesses. I'm like, why? If you've got a family, if you want to have time outside of your business, then hiring help should absolutely be your number one priority, even if you're not earning six figures yet. My first hire was a VA. I hired that person about 3 months into my business journey. I actually kind of getting my company up and running, and it was the best decision that I made. And that person doesn't need to be full time. It can be 2 hours a week at the beginning. But that 2 hours a week working on things that you are not skilled at, or it's just not the best use of your time, because you could be selling or creating content that sells for you or getting on calls with people whilst your VA is doing customer service or scheduling posts for you. Whatever it is that is outside of creating content and selling and serving your customers, having somebody else do tasks, even for 2 hours a week, is going to make you money. It's going to make you money. So, what I did this morning is I created my organizational chart. Where are we at right now? Who do I have in my company? And then when I think about what we are creating for the end of the year and having enrolled 100 students in the coaching certification, what are we going to need? And then when I think about us having the capacity to enroll 400 students a year, what is the company going to need to look like? So, three charts: current, close future, and then slightly extended future. 400 students a year, let's say, is 3 years' time. Who do I need to have in place? This is so helpful. If you want to be earning £100,000 this year in your business and you already have a coaching business, what do you need to be doing that you are not currently doing? It's probably selling more. It's probably selling more. And if you want to do it more easily, you don't have a big audience right now. It is selling a high ticket offer. You know, it gets to be that simple. What needs to happen in order for you to be selling more? Do I need to get more support in when it comes to delivering who I'm delivering to right now? Do I actually need sales support because it's not something that I am great at? Should I be up leveling my skill set? And if you are brand new to business and you are just starting your coaching business, actually just asking yourself, what needs to happen in order for me to build a six-figure business? Just in the asking of that question, even if you do not know what all of the answers are, a PS, this is why you get mentors and coaches to help you to start to build this picture. Even if you don't know all of the answers, you are already going to be 10 steps ahead because you are thinking like a company leader versus somebody who is a hobbyist, who is just thinking about like the very, very next tiny step. And you will hear me say, you don't need to know all 1,650 steps. I don't know all 1,650 steps. And actually, what I'm asking you to do is that dance between having the bigger vision so you know where it is that you're going to, and then you will bring it back to what is the best next step for me. So all of this sits under reconnecting with your vision. What is it that you want? Number two, who are you going to need to help you achieve that vision? This, again, is a shift in mindset for most people because I can guarantee you that the majority of people who are trying to make their first six figures in business, maybe even up to their first 500,000 in business, they're like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? How can I learn this? It's all about them. And if we go back to that very, very useful African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. You want to be thinking rather than what do I need to do? It is who is going to support me. Now, sometimes in the early stages, it is about you up leveling your skill set and you getting support from somebody who has walked the path before you so that they are able to help you overcome or bypass the mistakes that they made doing exactly the same journey that you are going to do. Again, hello, this is why smart people hire coaches and mentors. Once you get to 500,000 and beyond, actually, we want to shift that question so that you are thinking about who is the person who already has the expertise and the skill set I can plug into my business and that I can work with in order to help me create the result that I want to create. This is shifting from solo entrepreneur mentality into company leader mentality. It's a big, big switch that sometimes I still struggle with. I will be honest with you. Sometimes, even at this level, I'm like, it would be quicker for me to do it. But in this context that we're talking about today, the reason that this is in there as a step is I realize how important it is that in order to create an 8-figure business, from this point onwards, it always has to be who. It always has to be who and not you, which leads me very beautifully on to step 3, which is name what it is that you will need to let go of in order to create something new. I have to let go of it being about me. You might have to let go of the story that there aren't enough of your dreamboat clients there. You might have to let that go if you're going to double your income this year. You might have to let go of if you're just starting out or just about to transition into coaching, that the market's already saturated and there aren't enough, there are already way too many people, or it's not safe for me to charge high ticket, or this is again where the coaching and mentorship comes in because it's so easy for us to revert back to our old ways of thinking. And the reality is that when you think from your old ways of thinking, you will create the old results that you have always created. There has to be an expansion in your consciousness and awareness in order for you to create a different result. I've been talking a lot about this in relation to meditation and why it has been so powerful for me because of the practice of consciously expanding my awareness to be able to bring in new information. I talk about this in Infinite Receiving, the book. The people who create more abundance in their life have more knowledge and information about creating more abundance. Their consciousness and their awareness of what is available to them is much wider than the person with the narrow view of all it is that they have been able to see up until now. So you have to let go of old ways of thinking and old stories to make way for a new perspective. It is so difficult to do this on your own. Again, this whole podcast has been inspired by a conversation that I listened to with one of my mentors. It wasn't even me having the conversation. And I was so grateful to be able to be privy to this conversation because it's expanded my thinking. And I am somebody who I am somebody who claims being an expansive thinker. In order to have got to where I've got to, I've had to think expansively. And it is really easy to get lost in the daily grind. It's really easy to be thinking about what needs to happen on Monday, what needs to happen on Tuesday. It's the urgent thinking versus the important thinking. It's so easy to get lost and stuck in that trap. But your ability to zoom out and go to the important, and the important is attached to your vision, the big vision. Then do step 4, which is take action towards that on a daily basis. That's the game changer. The compound effect of you moving towards and taking action in alignment with your big vision on a daily basis without exception can't help but create a flywheel of motion that is taking you towards what it is that you want to create. And where we fall down is that we can be the biggest thinkers and the dreamers. And if we remember, we can think big, we can dream big. But if we're not taking action because we are stuck in everything that we need to do that feels urgent, then we're not moving forward. None of this stacks if you are not taking daily action. And if you're taking daily action, which on Monday is taking you in one direction, Tuesday is taking you in another direction, Wednesday is taking you in another direction, because you have fallen into the trap of the next new shiny object, you're not getting anywhere. That consistent daily action needs to be in a singular direction. It needs to be in a singular direction. If it's not, you're not going to see the same level of progress as somebody who is focused. Now, getting distracted is one of the biggest traps that we will have to overcome. The second biggest trap that we will have to overcome is that on that path to going to where it is that we want to go, to creating what it is that we desire, there are going to be numerous failures. There are going to be many attempts where we do not get the outcome that we envisaged. As we attempt to cross certain milestones, we're going to fall flat on our face. And the difference between those who will and those who won't, those who do and those who don't, are the ones that fall on their face and decide that because they've experienced a failure, something is wrong, and they don't get up and they don't continue. They use that as a sign to focus their attention on something else, and they do something else for 2 months, 3 months, until something else comes along, and they do something else for 2 months, 3 months, they fail, and then they decide, oh God, it must be this strategy that's wrong, and I need another strategy, and so on and so on and so forth. Your ability to be willing to accept that failure is part of your success journey, and just because you failed at this point doesn't mean that you need to pivot. And at the same time, business is an art, not a science. And so sometimes, for all of the people who are like, actually, when I pivoted my business, everything changed. There are lessons that you will learn on the way. There are failures that will take place on the way that will let you know intuitively when it is time to pivot. But most people change direction way before they should be, because they don't like the discomfort of things not going exactly as they desire them to go. Don't be that person. So, 4 steps to making decisions that your future self is going to love on you hard for. Step 1, reconnect with your vision. Step 2, who are you going to need to help you achieve that vision? Step 3 is be willing to let go of many of the things that got you to where you are in order for you to create space in your awareness to look at things differently. If you are looking for elevated results, you are going to have to elevate your level of consciousness. And then step 4 is taking action daily towards the thing that you are wanting to create, understanding the compound effect of those 1 degree a day decisions. Okay, I hope that you have found this really, really helpful. I hope that this has motivated you. If this has been a vibe for you today, please, if you know even one person that would benefit from this, I would really appreciate you sharing. And if you can't share, then leave me a review. Pop over to Apple and just let me know what you thought of this episode and help me spread the word. You are going to be receiving this, I think, about a week before we go into Pathway to Purpose, which is my live 3-day virtual event that is specifically for you if you are a consultant, a healer, a therapist, or even a coach who has been trapped in that time for money cycle. You've been working one to one, but you are ready to leverage your impact and your income and would love to look at what is required today, 2025. How are we building our coaching business? How are we up 30% year on year already? And we're not even through the first quarter yet. How are we helping our clients build 6-figure coaching businesses? This 3-day event is for you, and you can grab your ticket at www.susieashworth.com/unlock6, which is the number figures. I cannot wait to play with you over there, and I hope that you have enjoyed playing with me over here, and I cannot wait to be in your earbuds next week. And in the meantime, please remember that faith plus action equals miracles. Thank you for listening to Infinite Receiving with me, Susie Ashworth. I'd love to share with you my Infinite Receiving activation audio. Go to susieashworth.com/activate infinite receiving.